How do you stop being weak? How do you become strong? Well, let me paint you a picture real quick. It's nighttime and you've just had a really shitty day. You say to yourself, I'm gonna do XYZ tomorrow. And when you wake up the next morning, you end up feeling like shit and you feel like not doing anything for the entire day. So what do? You slack off, you stay in your bed, you scroll on your phone, and at the end of the day, you feel like you just haven't done anything. You feel extremely unfulfilled and you feel like you're weak and you hate being weak. You want to become stronger, but how do you do that? If this sounds like how your life has been going, then I'm pretty sure this video will be of some help to you. As for me especially, this has been something that I've consistently struggled with for a long time, and it's something that's taken a lot of experimentation, that's taken a lot of trials and tribulations, and I've had to figure out what works and what doesn't through many different failures, and that's exactly what you're going to have to do for yourself. Now, you probably watch these YouTubers and you think that there's some incredible people who never stop doing work, who always wake up at 6 a.m. and they're always on their grind. But that's obviously not the case because a lot of these YouTubers are actually not even close to what they say they are. They put on personas, and as a result, you end up believing them because they look cool, because they angle their cameras in a way, because, they have a lot of subscribers, they're probably rich, but that's not how it really works in this society. There's so many ways to just indulge in something that is so much easier to do than something that is so much harder to do but is much worth it. There are hundreds of thousands of things that you can do in the day that will be detrimental to you, but there's only so many things that you can do that will actually be beneficial. And nowadays, things are right in front of us. It's so easy just to pick up your phone and do something and waste like 2-3 hours of your day. And sometimes, like literally being honest, it's gonna happen to everybody. That's just the way it is. I've been on this whole improvement thing for a year and a half now. I still end up grabbing my phone sometimes and I end up wasting like 15-20 minutes just because I was being lazy and because I was being, in my opinion, weak. But I hope that you do learn something from this video because this video is not from some insanely rich entrepreneur that you just found on YouTube. It's from this random buff teenager in his room talking to you about his own past experiences and failures and trying to teach you how to become better based on my own experiences. Now, firstly and very importantly, you need to learn how to embrace failure and make use of failure. A lot of people, when they fail, they feel like shit and they feel down about themselves and it ruins their entire day. The way I approach failure and the way that you should approach failure is that once you fail at something, you look at every possible way to improve yourself, to fix yourself based around this failure. You have to think to yourself, why has God blessed me with this failure? That's right, I said blessed. That's not a mistake in my speech. I literally mean that God blessed you with a failure. Now, why do I say that? That's part of the mindset that I'm trying to preach to you right now. Every single failure you have received in your life is a blessing from God. God gives you these failures, He gives you these difficult times because He knows that you are the one who can overcome it. He literally puts His faith in you. So why don't you put your faith in yourself? Try to do things that are out of your league. Some things that you can never imagine yourself possibly doing, try to do them. If you can't, it's okay, but you've got to take some sort of risk if you really want to change who you are right now. Because if you don't take risks, if you don't step out of that zone you're currently in, there's literally no way for you to actually change who you are. Set high expectations for yourself and set goals that literally seem scary when you look at them. The philosophy behind that is if you set goals that are extremely difficult to reach, you're going to work harder to reach them. You might not actually reach it, but you're going to go way farther than you would if you just set some low goal that you're probably going to easily achieve, but isn't something that pushes you to your full potential. Now, embracing failure allows you to learn the very, very, very important skill of moving forward without having a swaying mind. It is so easy these days to see something on YouTube, to see this new tactic and just be drawn into it. Have your mind sway away from the path and move on to that new path. And immediately you start a new path, a new adventure, but then you get swayed to another thing and you're like, okay, I want to do this. And you go and you do that and you go back and forth, but you don't actually make any progress. Part of being strong means to put faith in your own philosophy and move forward, believing that the path you chose is the correct path. Even when it may not be, even when at the end of the path, you don't end up where you want it to be, you still will go farther than just bouncing back and forth between different paths and only making it through the first 10% of each path you go on. Push forward and get the most out of everything you do. Do not stop just because some self-improvement guru said on YouTube that it's not optimal to do this. If there is something that you want to pursue and there's something that you believe you can do in your life, then go after it and do not take advice from people who say that you shouldn't do that because that is completely contrary to being strong. Another really important thing that a lot of people on this platform don't talk about is being social and talking to people. Most of masculine problems come from loneliness. Most of your depression, feeling like shit about yourself, comes from the fact that you don't have many friends and that you don't have people to hang around. When you're at the gym or you're outside somewhere, try and engage with people a little bit more. Even if you're just walking down the street and you happen to see someone, give them a nod, give them a hi, say something that makes them feel like you're actually acknowledging them. Not only does it make the person feel a lot better, it makes you feel a lot better about yourself. And if you start talking to more people at the gym, you start talking to people with similar interests as you, you're going to begin to make new friends. You're going to begin to talk more with people, and you're going to begin to get out of that comfort zone. And loneliness slowly becomes a smaller problem for you. Could you imagine a life without loneliness? That would solve 90% of most men's problems, especially on this so-called self-improvement journey. It's not about being this lone wolf Sigma male who's all by himself. It's about engaging with others and inspiring others through your own passion and through your own journey of becoming better. Do not try and be the stoic warrior who's just all by himself, because that is complete bullshit. You are not Marcus Aurelius. You're not a stoic warrior. You're literally just a modern 21st century dude. You're not that special. Go and talk to people. You'll see the benefits of that very quickly. Now, this is something I already touched up upon a little bit, but to go a little bit more in depth, I wanted to say, do not trust a lot of these people on these platforms. Trust in yourself more than anything. Now, take the advice of people. Like I'm trying to give you advice in this video. Take the advice, implement it. But if it doesn't work, don't consistently push yourself to forcing it to work, because that's just not how it works. If something doesn't work for you, then don't do it. Doesn't matter how many other people think it's amazing. Don't do it if it doesn't work for you. It's that simple. To give you an example, I was meditating consistently for over a year, and I wasn't really seeing too many results from it. Now, I was feeling a little bit more mindful in my day, but I found that that came from other things like staying away from stimulation, rather than that 10 minutes of meditation that you do in the morning that doesn't really affect the later parts of your day. That's just my opinion. If meditation works for you, do meditation, because who am I to tell you what to do for your own self? Part of being weak is following other people because you don't have the confidence in your own ability and your own truisms. Follow through with what is working for you, and that is how you will attain your own success. Now, if you want to become stronger, you have to willingly take the path that is most difficult. Everyone wants things to be easy. You want easy money. If someone came up to you and gave you $100,000, you'd be like, yes, give it to me right now. I'm done. I don't care. You don't have to do any work for it. You just sit back, you win the lottery, and you're free for life. I guarantee you, it is way better to spend 10 years of your life working to make $1 million than to just be handed $1 million. If you can adopt that mindset, then you know that you're doing the step correctly. If you willingly take the hard path and willingly want something difficult in your life, you seek discomfort. You literally want things to be hard. You know you're doing it right. But if you want things to be easy, if you just want people to be nice to you, if you just want God to hand you money, to hand you women, to hand you things that you want, that's not the right mindset. Because this path is not about the result. It's about what you do in between the beginning and the end. That is where you grow the most as a person. It's not about how much money you make. Like in the beginning of this whole self-improvement thing, the destination may be the most appealing thing, but you will slowly begin to realize that it is actually the process that you're after. It's that difficulty day in, day out that you're seeking every single day. And if you consistently seek this difficulty, you will undoubtedly become stronger. Please listen to this point because I really do think it's the most important part of the video. If something is easy to do, it's not worth doing. And if it's hard to do, it's definitely worth doing. Take the harder path. The more difficulty in your life, the stronger you will become. But what's the benefit of becoming stronger? It's not like you make any more money or anything. That's exactly the point. It all fits perfectly because being strong doesn't reward you with like any special outcome like more money, more fame. It doesn't give you any of this stuff. It's basically just self-enlightenment. It's pretty much the highest energy level you can get to in your entire life. Being strong, being truly powerful within is a feeling that not many people get to feel in their lives, and it certainly is not gained by taking the easy path. The last thing is emotions. Emotional men are weak, and nobody can change my mind about it. Nobody can change the objective truth. If you give in to your emotions, you are a weak man in some regard. Now listen, I give in to my emotions sometimes. We all do. It's just around a spectrum. It depends how far you are on the spectrum, how much you give into your emotions, and how driven you are by your emotions. Because at the end of the day, someone driven by emotions is missing out a lot on finding their true selves. Because if you're driven by something that isn't really you, are you really living? Learn to control these emotions and really take a step back and realize that these things that you feel are not actually real. These emotions are created to make you survive. They're not there to make you feel good about what you did on your exam or what you did at work, this promotion you got. Like, that stuff shouldn't really matter. Now, I'm not saying be stoic and have no personality, because that's obviously something you do not want to do. I'm saying that when things get difficult, don't go complaining to your parents. Don't go complaining to your friends or your family about, oh, this is so hard. I'm so tired. I'm so sad. Don't go crying in your room about stuff just because you did bad on the test or something, or because some girl rejected you. Why would you choose to do that? Because it's not going to give you any relief, and you're just going to feel more shit about yourself. The more emotional you are in these critical situations, the weaker of a man you become. It's just that simple. I hope this video was of some benefit to you, and I'm so grateful that this time I was actually recording and my mic was on. Because I swear, I recorded this video on like how to get bigger legs and my mic was not on. But that's besides the point. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Reject mediocrity, embrace mastery.